So the Mecha Comet was one of the coolest devices that I saw last week at CES. I was able to meet the creator and he was able to walk me through a little bit of the device. They had a working kind of prototype and then they had a few demo boards that you can put onto it, like the keyboard and the game controller and the breakout board. Those were non-functional.
All the extensions are open source, so we already have people in the community building their own extensions.
Okay.
Right, so we have somebody porting like a 4G modem on this.
Yep.
So when you attach this, it becomes like a smartphone.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So it's
Only
very
the 4G
cross-functional.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you guys are live on Kickstarter right now?
No, we have just put our coming soon page live on Kickstarter.
Okay.
The campaign will start from February.
Very cool.
Kickstarter will start from 159.
Okay.
So we are sending devices to reviewers also sometime end of Jan. So
Okay.
if you are interested.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the coolest devices that I saw at CES. So I wanted to go into a little bit more detail of the device and I've done a little more research on it. So going to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, when it has the gamepad attached to it, just reminds me something kind of like a little Game Boy, where maybe you can install some custom emulators and whatnot. But I've done some more research, so let's get into it and break it down a little bit. And to start, it has a Debian-based Linux OS, which is running a custom desktop environment written in Wayland. Even the software kind of makes it look like a little mini cyberdeck here. And they've gone with kind of this very like minimalistic look to it, complemented nicely by the black device and the black background, I think, kind of like in a dark mode. And then the standard extensions they're offering, they aren't really working yet. So when I was trying them, they weren't like fully functional, but they will have a gamepad, a GPIO, which is like a breakout board with a USB-C plug in it, and then a standard keyboard, kind of like your average BlackBerry device, if you remember those. And it's all a 40-pin extension, so it should be acting like a USB port, and it will be recognized by the device as such. And then in terms of the ports and I/O, there's a gigabit Ethernet port, which is really surprising given that like modern laptops don't even have that anymore. But there's a 5 megapixel camera, some USB-A ports and USB-C. And in the back, you even have an NVMe port for expandability. The device is running an ARM processor. It's an ARM Cortex-A53 CPU, and it has a GPU as well. The CPU is running at 1.8 gigahertz, and it has 4 gigabytes of LPDDR RAM. I do wish it had a 3.5 millimeter jack, but can't get everything on a device, right? You can see all of the actual specs here, and it's got a 3.5 inch screen, the 5 megapixel camera, like I mentioned, 32 gigabytes flash of storage, and it's got a gyro in it and fast charging, which is nice. They may even consider doing 4G in the future, but there's a lot of certifications and complications that come with 4G accessibility, so that is something they're considering, but maybe that would be down the line if they did it. What do you expect the estimated manufacturer retail price to be?
190.
190? That's very cool. I like the look of it.
So we actually worked with a Swedish product designer,
Then
not
USB-C.
in engineering, but somebody
A
from
different
Sweden.
Swedish, yeah. Very cool.
It's all repairable, so 5 megapixel
5
camera.
megapixel,
Yeah.
okay.
And you have an M.2 slot, so you can put like an NVMe hard drive
A
inside.
2230?
Yeah, 2030.
Yeah.
And the Allen key opens up the entire device, so you have one Allen key.
Yeah, so fully modular.
Opens up. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, I'm really into like modular, like the framework computers and all that. Yeah. Very cool.
Okay. That's
Well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And you got my business card. Now, one of the reasons I'm incredibly passionate about these devices is the modularity. So it really allows you to customize things the way you want, and you can really swap things out, and people are able to develop things for the platform. And that's something that's not really possible on devices that are pre-built and are kind of a unified design. So things like this, there are a lot of developers and creators that can make stuff for this. Like someone just came out with a e-ink little module prototype for the Framework 16, which I'm super excited about. But like on this device, I just reconfigured it quickly, and now I have a numpad here, and I could easily put in the regular keyboard here if I wanted to. Even the screen, just like the Mecha Comet, is replaceable. I just remove the bezel here, and then I can pop in a new screen. And so this is the Framework 16, but we've started to see a few more devices like this come out. This is the Supernote Manta. The Supernote Nomad is also a modular device. And so this one is a note taker. You can see here I have some Mecha Comet notes. On this device, the SoC, the battery, the expandable memory, kind of like the Mecha Comet, has a lot of these traits to it, and it's all user repairable. So like the hex key on the Mecha Comet, it is very useful. And so I really see this being a device that can outlast a lot of your other devices that typically would have a shelf life of 3, maybe 4 years. And the user replaceable battery, just like we used to have in like old phones, Game Boys like this, is really kind of a game changer. The device is not out on the market yet, but I will link it below when the Kickstarter comes, and in the meantime you can check out their webpage down there. But I expect this to be a pretty massively successful product just because of the price point and the capability it has. I actually have a playlist of repairable devices that I've used or reviewed here, so you can check that out if you want. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.